All right, Coach, you moved from associate head coach to head coach. Tell me about the transition and what it's been like so far.
It's been a very smooth transition. It's been relatively fast-paced as well when I took over. I took over after Coach Schroyer left and went to NC State, so I had to keep the guys together, keep us on the same page. But I can honestly say it's been a very good transition. It's not as if I'm coming from a different program and taking over the team. I've been part of this team going on my third year now, so I'm familiar with not only the players but the administration, the community, and so that was key in that for me. Also, I've got just as many years in corporate America than I do in basketball, and I would do corporate acquisitions, corporate takeovers of other companies. So this part, taking over a basketball program, is a lot smoother and easier than doing that in the corporate world.
Okay, looking at the season, give me your general thoughts about the upcoming season.
Well, if I look at what the media thinks, clearly we have a lot of work to do. We've got to garner and earn the respect of those outside of our program and our community. I, myself, as well as my coaching staff and my players, we know what kind of basketball team that we have, the hard-working players that we have. The players know what we have, but we have a lot of work to do. So I'm very excited for the season. I'm looking forward to competing this time of year. Just like everyone, you get a little bit tired of going against each other. It's time that we start playing against some different colored jerseys.
What do you enjoy and like most about your team?
I think what I enjoy the most and like most about my team is our depth. I've got 16 guys on my roster. Actually 17. I've got a guy who's propping. But when you have 16 guys, and I mean 16 guys that can actually check in and go into a game, I could possibly have at one time, if I have a game tomorrow, 2 or 3 guys that would be my best player that are actually paying their own way. And so when you have guys that can play Division I basketball at that level that are paying their own way, it allows you to get some other guys on scholarship and give them an opportunity. I really like our depth. That's what I'm most excited about.
Looking at the other end, what do you feel the biggest challenge for your team is?
Probably the biggest challenge for our team is focus and eliminating distractions. We talk about it every day. We don't really need to worry about the media, so to speak, people blogging, what the internet has to say. A lot of times there will be distractions in your personal life. That's a challenge. There'll be challenges around campus. So those are some of the things that we talk about on a daily basis, just trying to eliminate your distractions so you can stay focused and streamlined in order to be successful on the court.
How do you feel OVC competition is this year?
As far as I'm concerned, it'll be business as usual. The OVC is a very well-coached league. It continues to be one of the top mid-major conferences in the country. There are very, very good players. I've coached in the Mountain West, the MAC, the Missouri Valley, the Big West, and the OVC, in my own personal opinion, is as good, if not better, than most of those conferences I've been in the past. So business as usual. Good players, great coaches, and a lot of competition.
Last season there were several rule changes, including the switch to a 30-second shot clock. What were your impressions and how did they impact your team?
Well, the rules changes, you'll have some rules changes. They'll have more in one year than other years, but basketball is going to be basketball. Probably the biggest change, how it affected us from a preparation standpoint, I would say on the defensive end, the offensive end, because a lot of people took advantage of 5 less seconds on the clock and, threw up some junk defenses, some presses or some zone presses to take even more time off the clock. So when you got to half court, you only had X amount of seconds to actually run your offense. But all in all, at the end of the day, basketball is going to be basketball. I don't think 30 seconds on the clock is going to persuade anyone from wanting to play basketball, watching basketball, or being involved.
Tell me about your non-conference schedule.
Our non-conference schedule is very strong, very strong. I play 5 high major teams, but I also designed it. I believe I've got 7 out-of-conference home games, which is the most in the OVC this year. And I did that intentionally because prior to this year, the past 2 years, we've played just such a brutal out-of-conference schedule on the road with consecutive games on the road. I think last year at one point in time we had about 6 in a row on the road. So I wanted to make a conscious effort to get as many home games this particular year with a younger, somewhat inexperienced team as far as Division I games are concerned, and to be in front of our fans. I think they deserve that. So I was able to get 7 out-of-conference home games this year.